Alright, so I said I wanted to use this multi-process Primeweld plasma cutter, TIG welder, and stick welder for my trailer project, and I wasn't going to be able to. What happened is I set the whole thing up, went and bought all kinds of fittings, went and bought an argon tank, went and bought everything I needed, got everything together, and the plasma cutter just, it comes on, the air comes through, but it will not arc, not for nothing. Now the TIG welder works fine. So I thought maybe I was doing something wrong. So I called Primeweld. They didn't answer me like 3 times. So I left a message, and it wasn't 10 minutes. The guy called me back and walked through a process with me. This thing's way out of warranty. Even though it's brand spanking new and I've never used it, I've had it for, I don't know, over a year and a half. Anyway, he walked through a process with me, told me a couple things to try. I did. It didn't work. It was something that took a little while, so I had to call him back. And when I called him back, he said, "Did it work?" I said, "No," and I'm thinking he's going to tell me something else to try, or, oh well, because I'm out of warranty. He said, "Okay, your new one's in the mail. It'll be there in a couple days." So, I mean, if he holds up to that, how can you beat that customer service? Be A1. So, we'll see here in a couple days. All right, so here it is. Sent me a brand new one. Now, I did misspeak in my last clip of my video. I went and looked at my my purchase history in Amazon, and these things carry a 3-year warranty. So I was not out of warranty, but it had been a year and a half, and I had never even used the machine before. And the guy didn't, I mean, it was, you couldn't get any more no hassle. Like, I would have expected him to try and walk me through a process, or maybe, send the machine back and they'll replace whatever parts broken or whatever the case may be. No, there was absolutely no hassle whatsoever. He said since those things didn't work that I tried, he was just sending me a new. I mean, it was unbelievable. Like, I can see why their customer service is rated A1, because 5 stars out of 5 is, all day long. Anyway, so here's my new machine. I'm gonna do the unboxing now, and we'll see what we got. All right. Still can't believe he just sent me a brand new machine without, hardly any questions at all. And that just goes to show you their customer support. Tell you, if I ever buy any other kind of machine like this, I will definitely buy it from them, no doubt. And that was part of my decision-making process, because there was other ones that was cheaper than this, but this customer service was by far rated the highest. The other companies that sold cheaper machines than this, they weren't much cheaper, and their customer service was non-existent. You know what? This is not the same machine I have. Let me see. This is definitely different. Okay. Hold on a second and I'll show you all the difference. Okay, I just have this new one sitting on my battery charger down here. This one's on the welding cart. So you can see the differences between the two machines. This one looks like it does a lot more, which is why I was a little scared when I opened it up. But actually, they've just changed the design. It's not really that much different. They've recessed this into the casing. Instead of the toggle switches, they've moved to electric switches. These are probably still the same, just different decals and different colors. They moved your current meter over here, and it's not, you know, like it looks like a separate piece here. It's built in the front of this one. Also down here, you'll see we still have the same amount of fittings here, but it doesn't have the same stickers across here. But it still does all the same stuff, because it says right here, MMA, which is your stick, cut, and TIG. So it still does all the same stuff, just looks different. One thing that is good for anybody that didn't buy this one is they changed the back of it. See, here in the back, this now has a argon gas fitting and an air fitting. Now, in this machine, you only have one fitting, which made it a royal pain in the butt. And I had to go to the hardware store 3 or 4 times to get all the fittings that I needed in order to come up with this right here. So it has a air dryer filter in the back. So your air and your gas goes through it and then into the machine. The problem is, if you want to switch from plasma to TIG, then you have to switch from air to gas. So I just came up with this. I hooked this so that I would have plenty of room, flexibility to get around instead of having to get to the back of the machine all the time. The way this is, you could run, you wouldn't have to have these fittings here. You could run your air or gas line straight to the back of this and hose clamp it on there and run both of them and be fine. I am still going to transfer all of this over, not only because I spent so much time putting it together, but because I like this quick release fitting. Because with this, I can, you know, just connect the air or the gas really quickly. So, you know, all I have to do is take my air line, or this is my gas line, go into my argon tank, clip it in, and now I got gas. I can disconnect this and bring my air line over here, clip it in, and now I got air. So this makes it way easier. And I'll show y'all how to put that together, because it's going to be different now, I'm guessing, on this. The thing is, he didn't send me a new separator, which I'm assuming is going to be different, because it should have, well, maybe not. Maybe this is just like a Y splitter or something. We'll have to figure out how to run all this through the splitter now that it has 2 different fittings in the back. But we'll figure that out, and we'll show you how to wire that up. But that being said, this is the new one. He sent me just the machine, and, you know, obviously the plug-in, which actually is also different. So maybe I can swap that, I'm hoping, because I don't, I wired my shop outlet for the plug that comes on this one, which is a twist lock. So they've done some I don't know if you want to call it upgrading, really, because to me this twist lock plug is way better than this dryer plug. So they've made some changes, I guess is what I should say. Some good, some bad. The air and gas intakes in the back definitely was an upgrade. I kind of like the look of the older one better, but you know what? If the thing works, what I paid for it is amazing. The other thing I will say is he's not asked me for the old machine back. So I'm guessing I have another machine. Now, it doesn't work, but, you know, maybe I can open this thing up, see why it's not working, and possibly get it fixed. And if so, then I've got a free machine sitting here. Even if I had to order some parts or something for it, you know, be a free machine. Now, obviously, if he asks me to send it back, obviously I'm going to, but he hasn't asked me to send it back, so that's where we're at with that. But anyway, you can see the differences. I'm going to get this wired up. I'll show you all the process of what I got to go through to get this machine set up, since it's different. And if y'all buy one now, this is going to be what you get. So, because this is the upgraded version, or the newer version. At least the plug, I would say, is not an upgrade. I'm a little disappointed with the plug, but the plug's no big deal. You can always go to a hardware store and get you, you know, another plug if you... no telling what y'all's shop is wired with anyway. It could be wired already with the dryer plug, and then it's perfect for you. So that might not even be an issue for y'all. Alright, here's what I was telling y'all about there only being one hose. See, it says air/gas in. There's only one hose connector in the back here. So your air will run into here, through the separator, and then through here, or the filter separator, and then go into the machine. So now what we'll have to figure out is how to change that to this. Okay, here's the box with all the fittings, that everything that goes with it. And here is the 110 or 220 to 110 adapter. But when we spoke about this, it was supposed to be adapter from a twist lock. But maybe I can figure out how to adapt that to 110. We'll have to figure that out, because the twist lock is the way my shop's wired. That dryer plug is not going to work for me. Here is a new stinger lead. Okay, so we got a 220 to 110 adapter, a new stinger lead, new air hose. There's a new ground clamp. Oh wow, here's the new plasma gun, and man, is it updated from the last one. It looks way better. The other one, you know, for the price point of the machine, I'm never going to complain, but the other one was cheapish. This one looks fancy. So that's definitely an upgrade right there. Here's a bag of consumables. A little light on the consumables versus the last one. Oh, no, it's not. Here's more consumables. Okay. There you go. So there's your TIG consumables, and here's your plasma consumables. So it's about the same as the last. Let's see what this TIG gun looks like. Okay, that's the same exact TIG gun as the last one. So they've upgraded the plasma gun, but not the TIG gun, which is fine. I didn't have any issues whatsoever with the TIG gun. So here's, looks like all the connectors are the same. So one should swap, you know, from the other. So we'll get all this put together, and we'll try and use it. All right, so this is how y'all's gonna come. When it comes new, this line's gonna just be coming out of the back, going to nothing. Your power cable is gonna be, the newer one is gonna be this dryer plug. The other one is gonna be the twist lock that I showed y'all before. Now for me, I just bought a 25-foot extension cord for the twist lock, which was almost $100. So I'm going to take this case apart, and I'm going to swap this cable to the other machine and swap that cable to this machine. Now, depending on how your shop is wired, it's going to depend on what you want for a plug. If you buy the new machine, this is the plug you're going to get. So I would recommend somehow adapting this to whatever plug you have in your shop. Or, you know, you can change out the plug like I'm going to do, or you can just buy an adapter, however you want to do it. But that's what I'm going to do now, is open this case up. You can see I've already started taking one of the screws out right here. So I'm going to open this case up and swap that out. Alright guys, I plugged it in. Got the air pressure set. I've got all my settings. Got everything plugged in. I got to plug my ground in and clamp it to whatever I'm going to cut. And I got my lead out there. So let me get the ground clamp plugged in and find something to cut. We're going to find out if this thing works or not. Alright, this machine might be a little complicated if you've never run one of these before. I've got my ground clamp under positive. When you use this machine, your ground clamp is always going to be under positive, unless you start getting into fancy stuff that, I mean, I don't even know, how to do. Most people, they do alternate the current for certain things. I haven't gotten that deep into this, so I don't know how to do all that. But I do know that the TIG, the stick, and the MIG, the plasma, all work originally with the ground under the positive clamp. Alright, here we go. First time using this machine. As soon as I hit the button, it should start spraying air. And then once I touch this to the metal, it should start cutting. It works all right. It works good. Wow. All right. That's 1/8 inch tubing. It just blew right through it. All right. Here we go. I'm going to take a shot at TIG on this. But I just need to get it dialed in, but it plasma cuts and it TIGs, that's all I care about. I've got a stick welder, so if that don't work, I could care less. So we got us a good machine here. It's obviously a different machine, and I'll show you all how I plumb all the things in. I'm going to do that tomorrow. It's late tonight, but I'll show you all how I plumb all the things in to make it more accessible and easier to use. But A+, man. I mean, it plasma cuts great. It TIG cuts great. When you're much better welder than I am, which is most everybody. I got to get it dialed in too. But